Nonstop News starts now.
Good morning. Welcome back. Your time 6:45.
We've got 15 minutes of nonstop news, weather, and traffic, and it all starts right now.
Happening today, local officials presenting the next health order for Columbia and Boone County. A community briefing on the current status of COVID-19 is going to happen today at 3. KOMU 8's Avery Everett's in the newsroom. She dug through a lot. It's the city's last health order that went into effect back on January 19th. Where are we now in terms of COVID-19 compared to that order, Avery?
Well, good morning, Angie. While that new health order will be announced for the county later today, we don't know what or if anything will be changed. But what we do know is that a lot is different in the county and in the state at large when it comes to COVID-19 numbers. I compiled those numbers from the county from yesterday and also the numbers from January 12th that were used to back the county's last health order. At the time of the last order on January 12th, hospitals were in the yellow status. As of yesterday, hospitals in Boone County were at a green status. On January 12th, the county reported 712 active cases, and as of yesterday, the county reported 304 active cases. And also on January 12th, the CPS 14-day tracker per 10,000 people was at 79.9. Yesterday, it was at 40.1. Now, it is important to note that it could be too early for health officials to know if case counts in January were caused by a holiday surge or if lower numbers now are showing the vaccine in play. The state is also now battling a beast it has yet to face, and that's that UK variant. On Saturday, the first case across the state was confirmed, and even though the variant has not yet been reported in mid-Missouri, a community relations specialist with the Columbia-Boone County Department of Public Health and Human Services says keeping up with those safety practices set in place should be a top priority.
The best way to try to help stop the spread is to do the things that we've been talking about for months and months now. So wearing masks and social distancing, avoiding large gatherings, things like that, because, you know, the early research says that this variant spreads faster.
The department is also considering the variant and the speed at which it spreads for this new health order to ensure the county has enough resources for relief. We'll be live streaming that community briefing on our website, KOMU.com at 3 p.m. In the newsroom, Avery Everett, KOMU 8 News.
All right, let's check in one more time now with Columbia School Superintendent, Dr. Peter Stiepelman. He's joining us via Zoom this morning for an update in our KOMU 8 Superintendent Spotlight. So jumping right into it, Monday night's board meeting time was spent explaining how Boone Hospital is where the district's contracted for vaccinations for the teachers and the staff, but Boone wasn't given vaccines by the state. Tell me more about that. That seems weird.
Well, actually, I think it's important to note that Boone wasn't chosen as one of the 16 health systems that the state has identified for what would be 40,000 doses each week. So right. There are 76,000 doses coming to Missouri each week. 17,500 of them are going to the National Guard. 40,000 are being shared among 16 health systems. It is curious because Springfield, Jeff City, Kansas City, they have decided to share it between hospitals, but in this case they haven't. But Boone Hospital still has access to 6,000 that are available to other providers, Boone Hospital being one of them. And also the health department has access to 6,000 doses that are available to the health departments around the state. And so both have indicated their willingness and their ability to be able to provide that vaccine to our staff when they do have it. Now, it's important to note that 10% of our staff has already been vaccinated.
Right, great news.
Because, and so that's great news. And so we just continue to look forward to the ability to vaccinate more people. Right now we're in that phase 1B, and then there are 3 tiers in that. And so tier 1 and tier 2 is what is being vaccinated right now. And what we're advocating for is that tier 3 be accessed as well. So not taking away from anyone, but just being able to then begin the vaccination, because in our region, that's a really important part to our economy, is our public schools, our university. And so, we may be different than other regions. And so, we look forward to that. And we know Boone Hospital is committed to it. We know the health department is as well. And we look forward to continued conversations potentially with AU.
Okay,
yeah.
so let's say...
Okay, you got to end. Yeah.
No, I got one more question. So let's say
great.
The teachers get one vaccine. Is that a great starting point to get those kids back in the classroom, or is the district holding off until closer to the second shot?
Yeah, that's an important question. So, no, from our perspective, it's the 2 doses. However, Johnson & Johnson says that they would be able to provide 100 million doses to the United States, and that is they're having an FDA hearing next week, and that's a single dose. So if they're going to be able to provide 100 million by July, that means they'll be rolling it out in February and in March, and so that gives us the opportunity to have 1 dose at the beginning of March and be back. And so we're just really hopeful that wouldn't that be great? And so we're just hopeful that also gets approved.
Okay, thank you so much for taking the time.
I appreciate you. Thanks.
Now turning to take a look at how Missouri hospitals are holding up during this pandemic. There are 1,538 Missourians currently hospitalized with COVID-19. 25% of inpatient beds are remaining. This number includes staffed beds, overflow, observation, and active surge or expansion beds. If we're talking ICU, 23% of the beds are remaining. There are 327 Missourians in the ICU. If you look at the graph on the right, you'll see the figure's been trending down since Christmas time. The positivity rate, it's sitting at 7.7%. It's been decreasing since the middle of November with a few upticks here and there. Remember, the WHO recommends that figure be 5% or lower for at least 2 weeks before fully reopening your state.
In the last 24 hours, less than 700 new cases added in the state. The total number in the state, though, for the pandemic is 467,000. Yesterday, 6 more deaths were reported, and there have been 16 deaths in Missouri in the last week. In mid-Missouri, 98 people are hospitalized right now with the virus, and 47% of the inpatient beds are available, though. The ICU has 38% of its beds available in the state, and 22 mid-Missourians are currently in the ICU. Taking a look at the graphs there, the one on the right, that's the number that has been going down since the end of November with just a couple of upticks. In the last couple of weeks, it has been leveling off. In Boone County, there are 304 active COVID-19 cases reported. 22 Boone County citizens are in the hospital. Boone County's hospitals, though, are treating 51 patients with COVID-19.
Boone County's 14-day rolling average, it's trending down. This figure has been decreasing for almost a month now. This data comes from the New York Times, so it is a few days behind. Columbia Public Schools is continuing to see its 14-day rate go down. It's currently at 40.1. The rate's been below 50 since February 4th. The trend is similar to Boone County. It's also been decreasing for nearly a month. There are 34 active cases among students and 9 among staff. Cole County has reported 55 cases in the last week, according to the health department's website. Its 14-day rolling average has leveled out over the last few weeks. The data does come to us a few days behind. Then in Callaway County, there are 226 active cases there. To take a look at the bar graph from the health department's website, you'll see most are from the community. Here's its 14-day rolling average, starting it to level out in the last week. Again, the data comes from the New York Times.
This is just some of the latest information. There is a ton of it, and if you want more of it for our area, you can look on KOMU.com. If you look under the news tab, there is a specific section for COVID-19.
Let's take a live look right now at the U.S. Capitol this morning. It's the same place that was the site of the January 6th riot. It's now the site of former President Donald Trump's second impeachment trial, 21 days after he left office. Happening today, the Senate impeachment trial of former President Donald Trump is moving into its full day of testimony. In opening arguments yesterday, impeachment managers used a 13-minute video to take senators back to January 6th when a pro-Trump mob stormed the U.S. Capitol.
You ask what a high crime and misdemeanor is under our Constitution? That's a high crime and misdemeanor. If that's not an impeachable offense, then there is no such thing.
Yesterday's debate focused on whether it's constitutional to try a former president. The Senate voted 56-44 to move forward. Today, each side will have up to 16 hours to make their case. Trump's legal team says free speech protects Trump in their defense, while Democrats place the blame directly on Trump.
We can't possibly be suggesting that we punish people for political speech in this country.
The President of the United States sided with the insurrectionists. He celebrated their cause. He validated their attack. He told them, remember this day forever.
The former president's lawyers also say he was speaking figuratively when he urged supporters to fight and insist he can't be impeached since he is no longer holding office.
Presidents are impeachable because presidents are removable. Former presidents are not because they cannot be removed.
And Trump's lead defense attorney gives a different reason as to why the trial is moving forward.
We are really here because the majority in the House of Representatives does not want to face Donald Trump as a political rival in the future. That's the real reason we're here. And that's why they have to get over the jurisdictional hurdle, which they can't get over.
You can stream today's impeachment trial on our website, KOMU.com.
All right, switching gears to weather now. A look at our winter weather advisories that are in effect for central Missouri from now through noon today. This is for Jefferson City and Cole County, parts of Fulton, Holt Summit, and Kingdom City, parts of Callaway County, Montgomery County, on out towards St. Louis. That's where we're seeing some snow coverage right now. We had some early overnight snow that actually led to some slick travel in those locations here early through the morning hours. Live traffic map for Jefferson City. All lead-in roads into the state capitol moving at slow paces right now, like Highway 54, Highway 63, and Highway 50. Even sections of Highway 94 moving slow, and then you zoom out and you find Columbia's roads are okay. So it looks like right now most roads in central Missouri are okay until you start to get south of Columbia. That's where we start to find some issues, where we had some earlier overnight snow down near Jefferson City, Eldon, and into Lynn through the nighttime hours. Our drive times, you're going to notice that on Highway 54 from both east and westbound, coming in from the lake or coming in from Fulton and Holt Summit into Jefferson City, moving at a slower pace. Average road speed is closer to around 50 miles per hour. I-70 and Highway 63 is in a little bit better shape. We did have some flurries in Columbia, too. Looks like a quick scrape away with ice scraper on your windshield, and you should be in good shape. Just keep in mind, though, there's going to be some ice still on some roads this morning as temperatures outside still are in the teens. Single digits over northern Missouri. You actually have to go into Arkansas to really find some temperatures back in the 20s. Current wind chills right now are in the negatives. Currently feels like -2 in Columbia. It feels like only 4 degrees in Jefferson City. It is a brisk morning start for a lot of us. So we're dealing with snow showers right now, off and on snow throughout the morning and afternoon for us here in central Missouri. There's actually some pockets of some freezing rain the further south in the interstate you go, of Interstate 44, up to an inch of snow expected just today alone. We could get another inch, which would lead to 1 inch to 2 inches of snow in snow totals from now through Thursday night in central Missouri. So this little dusting of very light, fluffy, Arctic-like snow is just leading to these slick travel conditions, especially down in Jefferson City this morning. We're going to continue with this snow opportunity throughout the entire daytime hours. It'll lighten up this evening and then another shot of snow into tomorrow.
Here's what's happening right now. The WHO is now reporting that COVID-19 cases declined 17% worldwide last week. This is the 4th week in a row it has declined. The report also claims reported deaths have decreased for the 2nd week in a row. The United States still accounts for the highest number of new cases.
Time for your top 8. Your time is 6:57, and these are the stories making headlines in the day ahead. Happening today, local officials are presenting the next health order for Columbia and Boone County. The community briefing on the current status of COVID-19 will be at 3.
MU Healthcare is allowing patients to have a visitor again. That designated guest will be from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It comes after a decrease in COVID cases in our area. Opening arguments scheduled to start today in the presidential impeachment trial. The trial is just the 4th in history of a U.S. president and the 2nd for Donald Trump.
The National Transportation Safety Board says spatial disorientation may have played a role in the helicopter crash that killed Kobe Bryant and 8 others. One board advisor also says the pilot should have avoided dangerous weather.
International scientists looking for the origin of COVID-19 say the virus most likely jumped from animal to human. They announced the findings in Wuhan, where the coronavirus was first identified.
81 Walmart and Sam's Club stores in Missouri will receive more than 18,000 vaccine doses Friday. It's part of a federal program that will deliver doses weekly. All 4 Columbia locations are included. Local warming centers are expecting to see an increase in visitors this week. The city of Columbia opened the Wabash bus station to the public due to freezing temperatures and limited capacity.
Boone Electric is advising against turning up that thermostat. Could make your utility bill. It will make your utility bill go up. For every degree you turn it up, 8% added to your bill. And that's your top 8 stories. Those are the 8 that you're going to want to keep an eye on today.
All right, and a final check of your weather. The look at the Doppler right now. There are still some snow showers in central Missouri. More snow up to our north, more to our east, and actually over parts of southern Missouri. It's a rain and snow mix, as looks like sections of Interstate 44 will be dealing with not just snow, but also some freezing drizzle and freezing rain. So if you have any travels to the south today, south of Camdenton, south toward Lebanon, Fort Leonard Wood, or near Rolla, they're expecting an opportunity for freezing rain. For us here in the mid part of the state, it's all about snow. Highway 50 and Highway 54 into Jefferson City has been probably the worst spot we've seen so far today. Looks like just occasional snow showers here during the daytime hours. More tomorrow, about 1 to 2 inches of snow expected from now through Thursday night. A break in the snow on Friday, and then more on Saturday, when our temperatures over the weekend will only be in the single digits.
Okay, Tim and I will be back at 7:25.
Here's the Today Show.